Hey guys, welcome to Study 66, our off-road supplement for this week's teaching in Numbers. Thanks for joining me this Sunday. It was an amazing time getting into the book of Numbers, and it was a great time studying. You know, the one thing that I believe that stuck out to me the most is the discontentment that the people of Israel had at that time of wandering in the wilderness. And one thing that really had stuck out to me was their complaining, their lack of contentment. They were complaining about their manna, complaining about the land, complaining about Moses being their leader. And, time and time again, the people of Israel were just complaining and complaining and complaining. And I was getting tired of complaining about them complaining, And so one thing that, really stuck out to me is instead of complaining, what we should be doing as believers is being content in Christ. And so in the letter of Timothy, verses 6 through 8 says, "Now godliness with contentment is great gain, for we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain we can carry nothing out." And I believe that this is a principle that you and we can carry throughout our day-to-day basis of finding contentment not in our circumstances and situations, whether that be the manna that we get every single day or, the leader that's been placed in front of us, but, finding pure contentment and contentment in Christ and Him alone. I know for myself that when I look to Christ and I allow Him to be the guide of my life, well, there's not too much that I can complain about. He is the author and the finisher of my faith, and I trust Him and I allow Him to lead me. So going back to the book of Numbers, one of the ways that we can find contentment, right, is by not allowing the enemy to steal what we have already in our faith with God, right? And so we look at the account with the spies and Joshua and Caleb and the 10 others from the different tribes. They go into the land of Canaan, they come back, and 10 have a negative report, 2 have the positive report, Joshua and Caleb. And Joshua and Caleb, they were all 12 of the spies were in the same situation. They were all met with the same predicament, the same land, the same overflow, the giants, the milk and the honey. But 2 came back with a different report. And the reason that I believe so is because Joshua and Caleb's faith and trust was not in necessarily what they seen, but rather their faith and their trust in God and God alone. One of the things that I found really funny in the book of Numbers was the children of Israel, the 10 that came back with the negative report, they were complaining to Moses saying, well, why should my wives and children deal with the consequences to us going into this land? And it's almost humorous because it was their children that were allowed to go into the land. The 10's disobedience, that's majority of why they were wandering into the desert at that time. So guys, for our own lives, this is something that we can take out, right? To not worry about the external situations to dictate our view on how we're going to look at life. See, we're going to go through times of trial. We're going to go through times of challenge. There's going to be situations that take place at work and in family. And so what we need to do as believers is not look at the situations, but look to our faith and our trust in the Lord and Him alone. God bless you guys.